Elder Turner. Hello, everyone. Hello. Happy rainy Sunday. Good. Nice to see everyone here. I see familiar faces. Welcome back, which means we're doing something good here at New Heart Ministries. So before we get started with the cooking portion, I know you guys are waiting to sample. I know you guys have been doing a 30-day raw challenge. How many of you are doing the challenge? You started out, right? Come raise that hand and make me proud you're doing a challenge, right? Pick it up. So anyhow, before we get started, I would like to hear some testimonies. I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, how your journey have been so far. If you're experiencing any challenges, the blessings, whatever you want to share. What has changed in your life since you started doing the 30 days of eating from God's garden in Genesis 1:29? So, you like to share? Come on up.
Hi, I'm Donna Ferrier.
Come up here. We want to see your pretty face. Come on.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for what you're doing to promote health. And my personal testimony is I have acid reflux. I had it bad. And although I kept cooking my vegetables, I didn't realize that was part of the problem. So I've been, like broccoli, I can't eat it raw, but I can steam it a little bit. But thanks to the methods that you're teaching me, I now sleep better. And as I was telling Della, clothes in my wardrobe that I couldn't put on, I can wear them now.
Amen. I'm a rubber for you, so you can get some of that.
Yeah, so I thank you, and I thank God.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
And thank Pat for telling me about this class.
Praise the Lord, Pat.
Amen.
Amen. Great testimony. Anyone else would like to share? Anything that you have, I'm sure it will be an encouragement to somebody else. Even if you stumble, that's fine. We're all learning. I'm sure. Even if you had only smoothies last week, that's a testimony because you did something.
Can I ask
Yes.
another comment?
Yes, come on up. You get your 30 steps in today.
I'm speaking for my friend, and I know sometimes when you go from eating regular food, the cooked way, and you try to go raw, you have withdrawals. So headaches can be part of that.
Yes.
So if you could explain in your whatever you're going to do.
Yes.
Would you share your testimony?
Please.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah, so when you start eating raw, your body starts to do some type of detoxing. Your cells start to release built-up toxins. And for some people, it may express itself in headaches, rashes, itchy skin, bad breath, constipation, different ways. People will be tired, fatigued, but your body is just releasing the toxins. They call it like a healing crisis. You should push through that healing crisis. And some of the things that you could do, and we talked about this the last time I presented on Raw, you can help your body get rid of the toxins by opening up those channels of elimination. So, and drinking a lot more water as well to help flush the toxins out. So if you're constipated, there are things that you can do to help relieve the constipation. Simple things like drinking a little bit of prune juice might help. Add a little bit more fiber in the diet will help with the constipation as well. Maybe you might be eating low in magnesium. That will also help as well. Magnesium oxide helps move the bowels as well. You're getting headaches. Maybe you may need to do the sauna will open up the pores and get some of the toxins out as well. Skin brushing also helps open up the pores as well. Some rebounding. Drinking water for sure definitely will help you with that. And if you're low in magnesium, you might want to add some magnesium-rich foods to the diet as well. So, your green vegetables. If you like pumpkin seeds are very high in magnesium as well. You can make pumpkin seed milk, very high in magnesium. If you start getting cramps, you could make some mineral broth, and that mineral broth is just really just putting green vegetables, celery, potatoes, carrots, onions, garlic in some water, let it cook on a low heat for about maybe 30 minutes, and then strain that off, and then just drink the water. You could drink it warm at night and in the morning, maybe twice a day. So, but yeah, that's normal. While you go on raw, you see different things happening. People get bloated. That's a digestion issue, so we can talk about that. You might want to prepare your food a little differently in order for your stomach to get used to raw vegetables because it's rich in fiber. So there are a couple different things you can do to help relieve some of those detox symptoms. But I know you have testimony, so somebody else can share.
I'll share testimony. How you doing? My name is Eddie.
You gotta come up here, man. We want to see you.
Yeah.
Come on. You gotta come right here. Come on. That's okay. We want to see your handsome face, right? There you go. Don't be shy. I don't bite, okay? It's okay. All right.
Hello everybody, how you doing?
My name is who?
My name is Eddie.
Okay.
How you doing? I visited maybe a week ago. I'm just coming from Texas. I'm not on the 30-day raw challenge, but I've been doing vegan for maybe about a month now. I've been doing a 60-70% raw and maybe 30 to 40% cooked. The testimony I have today is that, number one, there's going to be some issues with your body re-alkalines itself. In other words, your skin starts to get healthy, you lose weight, some pain start to go away, and you start to see some benefits as you do this more and more. And so the testimony I want to say that even as you age, I think even at this time as you're aging, it's better for your health because our bodies don't respond to the food that we used to eat a lot. And I noticed that. So now that I do the 60-40%, like 60% raw or 70% raw, 30% cooked, that the energy, I'm not bloated, I'm not groggy, like when I wake up, I get better sleep, and I think the body goes through a process of healing itself. And I think that's very important. So I think it's not like a diet, I think actually it's a lifestyle that, as you get older and disease and comes up upon us a lot more, this is like a preventive measure that will keep a lot of disease and issues from coming up. Prevention is better than cure. So that's my testimony that I'm glad that I learned, or it took me a while because I used to love the chicken and oxtail, like I love delicacies.
Like Caribbean blood in you.
Yeah, so but I see that this type of lifestyle is good, that it can be a preventive measure or medicine to a lot of things that will come up, as you get older. So prevention is better than cure. You don't want to be on medications. Like my doctor tried to tell me I had diabetes. I wasn't accepting that. I knew I just had to lose some weight and just cut down my sugar and change some things in my lifestyle, and I've done that. And so I know when I go back to him, he's going to take me off the diabetic medications. Yeah, I'm not. My sugar is like average 90 to 96. It just had to change my diet and lifestyle. So when you're sick, they want to give you these medications. These medications, prescription drugs, ain't good for you. So this is like medication. This is medicine for you. This is like food is your medicine.
Amen.
And so this is better than my blood pressure. I'm not on my blood pressure medication no more.
Amen.
My blood pressure was down to between 123 and even sometimes like 115. And so this is the type of lifestyle that I encourage people to get. So you don't be in a hospital or medication or this stuff, because that stuff is the side effects, and you're just patching up the problem, not curing the problem. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Eddie. Amen. Thank you for your testimony. You know, when you have somebody else raise their hand. Oh, come on up. I just want to say, you know, when you're diagnosed with these diseases, high blood pressure and all that, diabetes, your body doesn't say, oh, I'm deficient in metformin, or whatever they give you. It doesn't say, oh, I need a drug. You have to think about what you're doing and what your lifestyle is and where you need to make changes. You need to assess yourself. Time for self-evaluation and make the adjustment, not take the easy way out. I mean, if it's critical and you need the medication in that time to help you at that point in time, but then you need to take this next step so you don't stay on the medication for the rest of your life. Right? Praise the Lord. Thank you for your testimony. Come on, sister.
I will give honor to God because in 2017, I was admitted to the medical center. My blood pressure was 202 over 102. Mm-hmm. My doctor told me, she said, you're going to have to go to the medical center. You're getting ready to have a stroke or a heart attack. I said, wow. And think how many years that be. 17, 18, almost 6 years. And this program, I'm telling Sandra yesterday, my blood pressure is normal because of this diet. Well, I'm not going to say diet, but raw food. And I have never been on nothing like this before. I've always believed in fasting, it bring it down. But this has helped me to keep it up. So I have a lot to thank God for.
Praise the Lord. Thank you for that testimony. I tell you, there's a lot of blessing in the Garden of Eden, right? Genesis 21 has outlined what our diet is, and the closer we stay to that, the better our life, our health will be. That's a great testimony. Thank you, sister. Anybody else wants to share? Even if you started and you stopped and you had a struggle, that's fine. We're all learning, and we can learn from what your challenge is. Yes, come on up. Okay, Sandra will come afterwards. Come on.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, welcome.
Well, thank you, Chad.
You're welcome.
I'm Pat Brown.
She's Pat Brown. Come closer to me. I don't bite. I left my teeth home today.
Okay. Well, when I first started on this raw challenge, it showed up was a challenge for me because I'm not a vegetarian nor vegan, but I'm getting better.
Amen.
But I do eat better, and I love vegetables. I have to have my vegetables. But anyway, since I have been on this challenge, I have had headaches. I have dreams. I say I'll be all right. And even when I be making my meals, so I tell my husband, well, I got 2 plates too. I said, yeah. Well, you can eat a little bit of it. So he do. But he said, I can't do this every day and all day. I said, well, okay. But I stayed on for about a week and a piece. But I am planning on going back to this diet, to this challenge.
Amen. We'll have it again. This is just, getting your feet wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about this 30, 50 that you could do. I thought it's either you do it or you don't.
You can
So
modify.
now I know better, huh?
If you can modify according to what you can do.
Okay.
All right.
But thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. I love that you tried it. You sit on it for a week, and she's gonna go back. But she did get headaches, and that's your body going through some detox, some healing crisis, some detox symptoms. You might be drinking coffee. You might be drinking eating foods with caffeine or whatever. Your body's just trying to rid itself of the toxins. Drink more water, get fresh air, do deep breathing outside, think happy thoughts.
Yeah.
Exercise, sweat.
And then I love peanut butter. And I love nuts.
Yeah.
And so I called and I asked a friend, hey, can I eat some peanut butter? Because I love, the nuts. She said, well, no, that's cool. So I said, well, I can eat some cashews. Went on, bought me a big jar and everything. I said, oh my gracious, I bought the wrong kind. Roasted. So I just said, well, okay. But anyway, it's a good challenge to be on. So we all need to change our eating habits. Mm-hmm. I need to get a whole lot better. Right. And I hope that you will too.
Yeah. Amen. Thanks for your honest testimony. And it's great that you can just learning to add more natural food on your plate as opposed to cooked and processed is a step in the right direction. Just eat more of that natural food And eventually, if you want to do all raw, that's fine. If you want to go 60-40, great. I mean, the more higher you go, the more benefits you see. But also, when you start to, if you want to continue on beyond this 100%, then you probably want to speak to someone to make sure that you get the right nutritional balance going forward. You know, you don't want to be depleted in nutrients, because one of the things that we can do so easily is just eat salads all day and smoothies. You know, because it's so convenient, a handful of nuts. And then you could be depleted, you know, so you want to make sure you're balanced, okay? You had a testimony, come on.
Thank you so much for all that you have taught us, and I am loving it.
Amen.
I am not doing the 30-day challenge completely. I'm probably doing the 75-15 maybe. But I have incorporated more of the raw, healthy, natural things. I'm doing my sprouting now, and I love sprouts. I put them on just about everything I eat. There was a thing on TV said if you use sprouts in your cereal, that, you know, to let them know, because they had never done that. Well, I do put sprouts in my cereal.
Mm-hmm. High protein.
On anything I can put it in, smoothies, and so food just tastes so much better since I'm eating more raw. Cooked food doesn't taste as well. The raw food just is so delicious. And I feel good. I'm feeling younger.
Amen. Amen. Younger than 16, you're good to go.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Praise the Lord. Great. Thank you for your testimony. Anyone else before we get into the demonstration? Yes, my sister coming to share. Come on. Anything you share could be a blessing to someone. Thank you so much for coming.
Does this mean I'm going to get my pill out myself?
You're going to get your pill out, Sarah,
Thank you.
after your 30 days.
Okay, my testimony is every year in January, that's when I start my yearly checkup. My eye doctor, my medical doctor, my blood work. So a few weeks ago, my doctor called me back and told me to come into the office. I said, after my blood work, I said, oh, Lord, what is this? So I didn't move fast enough to return the call. They called me again. I said, oh. So when I went in and she went over my report, she told me that they saw like a gallstone. So I said, you know, my side had been hurting me at night when I was on the right side, but I didn't pay any attention. I thought maybe it was because I was doing some exercise that I shouldn't be doing, 2 squats and what have you, because I do water aerobics. So she said, no. She said, but we're going to watch it. So due to the raw diet, my smoothies, and my kale, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to do sauteed kale again because I'm loving kale raw now. You know, I have not had that pain on my right side. I have not felt that pain. And at night I was on my right side. So but we are keeping a close tab on it. I go back to her in April, and no prescriptions because I told her, listen, I'm not into meds. So she said, we're just going to watch it, and then we're going to take it from there every 6 months. So I will be definitely keeping this raw food in my diet. More than once, more than twice. And also, when I make my smoothies, I went out and got some brown, got another block here.
Chia.
I had the chia, yes. A lady told me to put chia in water.
Yes, so you can get your omega-3s.
Yes.
And fiber.
Yes. So brown chia in my water. When I drink my water, I drop some in the water and shake it up. And she's a stroke survivor, so she told us, you know, how about the chia in the water. And then I remember the seed, flax seeds. Flax seeds I put in my smoothie. Flax seeds I throw in my salad. Flax seeds myself almost into the next generation.
There you go. Loving your flaxseed. Great testimony. Thank you, my sister. Appreciate that. All right, some great testimonies. Praise the Lord. God is really moving in a mighty way. And don't keep the information to yourself. Go out and spread it with those close to you. You know, as you learn new things, you share with others. So before we wrap up this segment, any last testimonies? Any grievances? Nope. All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, I'll jump right in front there and we'll begin the demos. Welcome back to the Raw Kitchen. Did you have a good time last time we were here? Yes. So how many of you really tried the recipes? What did you try? Tell me. The burger thing. The burger. Okay. How was it? That's okay. You tried it. Okay, but you know where you maybe probably went wrong. You could fix that. Okay. Anybody else tried anything else? Anybody else tried a milk? Somebody tried a milk. You like the milk? She did? You tried the kale salad? Okay, was it good? Okay, anybody else? You said you tried something. The burger came out good? Perfect. What did you try?
She tried the milk with everything that she tries, I eat. And
You're just eating, you're not trying. Okay, you're the sampler, okay.
so she's done the milk, and we both did the kale salad and
The soup?
what is it? The gonzo beans.
Oh, the burger, yeah, Did you try the soup? I think I heard you
I
say.
did, and it turned out a different color, but it was delicious.
That's fine, that's your color.
And the dessert,
Oh, the caramel mousse, okay.
Yeah, she did the mousse.
that was very good.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm glad you tried it. Today we're going to try a couple of different recipes. And I guess we have all your emails, and we'll send you the recipes as well. So today we have 3 recipes today. The first one is a cauliflower rice. Have you had cauliflower rice before? No? You've had it? Do you like cauliflower rice? Okay, I hope mine is likable today. Yep. I hope you enjoy it. So we're gonna have a cauliflower rice today, and then we will have we're gonna make something like a lentil stew. Sometimes I think in the cooked world you'll probably take minced meat and you'll brown it, and then you'll add like tomatoes and stew it up and put it next to rice. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so we're gonna do it raw. We're gonna take sprouted lentils and mix it with some sunflower seeds, and we'll add a tomato sauce and make it like a stew you can eat with rice. And your cauliflower rice would be that rice. And then we will also make a salad from red cabbage with jicama. Do you know what jicama is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll make that with jicama with a citrus dressing, and simple dressing so that you can use in other dishes as well. So most times I'm trying to give you techniques rather than recipes that you can try. For example, with the burger, you can switch out those nuts and seeds and use, you can do walnuts and maybe lentils and come with a different kind of burger. So I cannot teach you all the recipes in the world, but if you have a technique, you can just open your fridge and say, oh, I got this, and I could make something, right? That's what you really want, not recipes, because you will starve if you don't have a recipe, right? But if you have a technique, it's embedded in your brain, you're good to go. You got tools, right? All right, so let's get started. Our first recipe. Any questions before I get started? No? All right, so the first recipe will be the cauliflower rice. So I'll just bring this over here. I need to get... Oops. Could you give me a friend? You hook that up there. Thank you. All right, so our first recipe is a cauliflower rice. So for this recipe, thanks. Thank you. So for this recipe, you need some cauliflower, obviously it's cauliflower rice. And you would need some, we're gonna make the rice and then I'm gonna make a cream to go on the rice. So in order to make the cream, we need some like a nut, some type of nut to make that cream. So for that cream, we will be using hemp seeds and sesame seeds. So you could use any kind of nut. My nut of choice or seed, my nut of choice is actually pine nuts. Really, it's really nice, but it's a little pricey. So I'm trying to show you the more economic way. But you can switch it out. And I added a little bit of sesame seed to add a little bit of more minerals to the dish. All right. So you'll also need some herbs and spices. We're going to add to the cauliflower. We're going to add some dill. We'll add some carrots for color. We'll add some turmeric, and turmeric will give it a nice, rich yellow color, but also impact some nutritional benefits as well. We'll add a little green onion to the dish as well, just for some more health benefits. Of course, I love garlic, and you know what garlic's good for. A little bit of mint to the dish. A splash of lemon to sort of heighten the flavors. And a little tip of sweetener. This is a raw honey. It's not even from bees, it's from a plant. Just to kind of bring up the flavors in it, not a lot. You can also use dates in there as well. A little bit of salt to taste. And a little bit of onion powder. This is optional. You can do fresh onions, as my friend provided, some fresh onions. Okay, so in preparing your cauliflower, so normally your cauliflower will come, a big cauliflower with the green underneath there. You want to cut that off. If it's organic, I usually would save the green leaves, wash them out really well if they look healthy, and I'll put them in a juice or stew or something like that, or salad. It's kind of tough, so maybe I'll juice it. All right, so you remove that, and then you cut the cauliflower in like 4. But because this grows so close to the ground, and when they water it, dirt gets on it. When you put it to wash, you want to separate the florets like that, and you would soak it in water. And I love to wash my raw vegetables with either apple cider vinegar, food grade hydrogen peroxide, or maybe baking soda, a little bit of that. And I let them soak in there and wash them out to get the sand out, because the sand will get in between there and then you'll be eating and feeling sand. If you feel sand in there, forgive me, but I tried my best to wash it out. But you wash it out and you make sure you get all the sand out, you wash it out, and you want to make sure it's really dry. So you want to put it on now you can use a clean dish towel from your kitchen. This is a bamboo base, in case people are wondering, this is toxic. This is bamboo based paper towel. I know I have some some people out there is like, oh, we shouldn't use paper towels. But anyway, you put them in here and then you pat it dry. You want to make sure it's dried and remove all the water, because you don't want too much liquid in your cauliflower, right? Okay, so I already did all that for you over there, so let's get what I did. All right, so I already washed these and dried them out. Now, because I'm doing a demo, these stalks here, they don't rise very well, so I remove those. So I'm down to the florets, okay? Now you don't have to throw them away. Again, you can rice them and put them with some other raw dish. You can make a soup with it. You can make juice with it. You can even blend it up with some macadamia nuts and make something like a mashed potato kind of thing. So you don't throw it away, right? But just for demo purposes, I'm removing it because they don't rise properly. And I should have done this yesterday. I didn't. So yeah, so you'll just cut all these off and just remain with the stalk. Oh, and so if you're going to do something like a buffalo cauliflower, you'll probably leave the stalks on because you want to have that buffalo wing kind of feel. People do that. Or you have something to hold on to, I guess. All right, so these are pretty dry. Okay, so I'll just scoop these over here. All right. And you may have to do this twice don't put all the cauliflower in here at one time, because you would overprocess some of it. Some will get too soft and some will be riced. So you want to just break it up as you put it in here, do a little bit at a time, you know. Okay. All right. And you pulse it. You don't just let the blender go because it would get too smushy. All right. So this is the rice texture, and it's dry. Now, you can, if you love cauliflower and you don't need anything on it, you could just toss this up with some seasoning and have it just like that. Just perfect, fine, if you like that. Okay, so it looks like rice. Nice and white there. All right. Now, I want to start making the cream. Let me add the stuffed rice first. So now we would add some herbs and spices to that cauliflower. So this is green onion here. Somebody has a note on cauliflower. They would like to share the health benefits of the cauliflower with us while I chop. Okay, somebody go first. So cauliflower does have a lot of health benefits, and people don't use food as medicine because they don't know what's in the food. But if you know what's in your food and how God has really put healing properties in your food, you'll eat more of God's food and less of processed foods. So go ahead and share the health benefit of cauliflower. Who's going first? Go ahead, yeah.
Cardiovascular health.
Could you hear her?
It says regular consumption of cauliflower can help with blood circulation and might help maintain the proper functioning of the blood vessels, which can be attributed to the presence of glucoraphanin. Glucoraphanin is converted into isothiocyanates that activate anti-inflammatory activity and can thus prevent the accumulation of lipids in the blood vessels. This can aid in the unobstructed flow of blood, which may reduce the risk of conditions like atherosclerosis and promotes cardiovascular health. Research has also proved that the antithrombotic and antiplatelet function of indole-3 carbinol found in abundance in cauliflower contributes significantly towards a healthy heart.
Amen. Amen.
Cauliflower may have anti-cancer potential. Studies have shown that indole-3 carbinol present in cauliflower has chemopreventive and anti-estrogen effects that help in hampering the growth of uterine cancer cells. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition has provided supporting evidence for the fact that consumption of brassica vegetables, such as cauliflower, helps in suppressing cell proliferation, especially in terms of breast cancer.
Thank you very much. So cauliflower is very potent, and that's just two of the many healing properties within the cauliflower. All right. What do you have?
I have cauliflower.
You got a cauliflower too?
It says cauliflower.
You see, he's bringing the mic for you.
Cauliflower may slow down muscular degeneration. It is possible, let me take my class. It is possible, rich in vitamin C and antioxidants, and thus may slow down the progression of age-related muscular degeneration, which can lead to blindness, particularly in the elderly, The sulforaphane may protect the retinal tissue from damage caused by the oxidative stress by acting as a free radical scavenger and preventing cell death, which can help prevent vision impairment.
Amen.
It's masculine. It's macular degeneration, not muscular.
Oh, macular, yes.
Yeah, that's what I know he knew what he meant. But yeah, so yeah. All right. Yes.
Macular degeneration.
Yes.
Serious disease.
Okay, so those are the health properties of cauliflower. So to the cauliflower, I added some green onions. So now I'm adding some mint here, and I'm just going to chop the mint up. And we have so many herbs, so much herbs around us that grows like weeds. And I know in my garden, the mint, it grows like a weed. So use your natural herbs in your food. And now I'm going to add a little bit of dill to that as well. And I'll come to I know some of you have something on dill. Let me just finish the recipe and then we'll. So this is fresh dill. I know we have been using cilantro a lot. And cilantro is all over the grocery store. But there are a lot of other herbs that we can use in our food, like dill. So while I'm chopping the dill, someone could read the health benefits of dill.
Dill weed produces amazing cholesterol-lowering benefits. Through careful studies, it was determined that the effective dill extract and dill tablets on lipid profile, liver enzymes, gene expression, and enzymatic activity was positive in hamsters with high cholesterol. The subjects were randomly divided into 6 groups and received daily doses of dill in its various forms. After 1 month, when compared with the group that did not receive the dill, the lipid profile, blood glucose, and liver enzymes significantly decreased in all dill tablet or dill extracted treated groups.
Amen. Somebody else has a dill? You got dill?
Dill protects against free radicals. Dill contains monoterpene effects, which ultimately help antioxidant molecules attach to oxidized molecules that would otherwise do damage to the body. These effects were confirmed in a multinational study, and research showed that antioxidant activity of dill is comparable to ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, alpha tocopherol, which is vitamin E, and quercetin. Thus, dill exhibits anti-inflammatory and analgesic, which is pain properties that fight free radical damage. This study showed the antioxidant activity of the aqueous extracts of various herbs, including dill, revealing the beneficial
Scavenger
of superoxide radicals. Overall, the daily use of dill in various forms, common in India due to the antioxidant activity of extracts that are superior to known antioxidant ascorbic acid, makes it a great addition to food. And then I have another one. Dill helps reduce depression. Depression is a big problem among so many, both adults and teens. Dill weed may actually help as a natural remedy for depression. A study published in the American Journal of Therapeutics aimed to investigate the antidepressant and analgesic properties of aqueous extract of dill from the south of Morocco. Extract of the dill plant was administered to subjects and showed a significant antidepressant and analgesic effect when compared with the drug references sertraline and tramadol.
Okay, I think we can stop right there.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So here they're saying that dill is just as superior, even more superior than vitamin C, vitamin E, and quercetin. Those are very key, big antioxidant supplements. So dill is just as powerful, and also people who are suffering from depression can also use dill because it's an antidepressive herb. And you can use dill in many ways. You know, you can put it in your food, you can make a pesto, you can make a tea if you like strong teas. You can just cook it with all the stuff, use it up in anything that you do. So we have a lot of, you know, our herbs are powerful, and it doesn't take you a lot to grow an herb garden. You can just get like a little container and start putting your herbs in there and just have it out your window, outside your door, some pots. I have them in pots, and just start using them every day. I know we have cilantro, that's like the biggest thing, and the basil, but everybody goes to that. But just if you get a variety of these different herbs, that would definitely help boost your immunity. As we know, we're gonna get a lot of viruses coming our way soon, you know. So it's best, not that you may still get hit with the virus, but your body is better to can recuperate faster, you know, if you have given it the things that it needs to fight these things off. Okay? So that was dill. So to our cauliflower, we added some dill, some green onions. I'm gonna add some red onions here as well. Just moving along. We're gonna add some carrots for color, just like how you would do a rice, okay? And I do like to add a little garlic in here. I love a lot of garlic, so I probably add about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic to this one head. This is a head of cauliflower, actually, a medium cauliflower. And okay, I'm not going to grate the 3 heads of garlic right now, but I'll put a lot of garlic. It's really to your taste what you like, so you can put more or less garlic as you see fit. So I will put a little bit of lemon juice, not a lot, because I don't want it to have too much liquid in there. So we'll just do a little bit of lemon juice. Okay. Now, if you want to put salt in your food for cauliflower, the best thing to do is to put the salt at the point of when you're gonna, at the time you're gonna eat the cauliflower. If you put this salt before, it's just gonna spring a lot of liquid and everything's just gonna be watery. So you just wanna put it just before you eat. I'm just gonna put a little bit of lemon juice here for flavor, not much. Okay. I have some salt here that I'll put, and I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of sweetener because, you know, cauliflower is a little bit of, what do you call it? Very strong. Yeah. Is what?
What type of sweetener is that?
This is right here.
Oh, raw honey?
Yeah, you can put a date, you know, like if you soak the date enough, but it would still show, you have to blend the date smooth, and you can use a little bit of date, like a date paste if you want. It is not really honey. It's honey from wildflower. It's not actually from the bees, well, from the wildflower. Yeah. Yeah. So just a little bit to break that pungent taste of the cauliflower. All right. So now I'm just going to mix this around, but I want to add the cream on it, and that cream will help to hold on to some of the herbs and spices and add an extra flavor to the cauliflower. As I said, you could actually use pine nuts, which is my nut of choice, but I'm using hemp seeds because hemp seeds are very high in
Omega-3s.
omega-3s, your healthy fat, yes, and there's a lot of fiber, there's a lot of minerals, just high in protein as well. So hemp seeds are very powerful. You can make hemp milk as well with this. So I'm just using about 3/4 cups of hemp seed and a 1/4 cup of sesame seed. Now this wouldn't sprout because it's the hulled sesame seed, but if you get the unhulled ones, it's a lot darker. And that one will sprout when this one I just soaked it. What does sesame seed have in it? It does have selenium. And it's very high in minerals. Very high in calcium as well. So it's really great. Now, seeds are lower in fat. So if you're trying to lose weight, you kind of use more seeds. And you can maybe sprinkle maybe a little bit of pine nuts to add a little more creaminess, but don't use like a full cup of pine nuts if you're trying to lose weight. And seeds have more nutrition than nuts. So I just put a quarter cup here. All right, I'm just gonna put the remainder of the garlic in there so that I will blend it up. So I love to make my cream separate because my cream is it's more functional. So if I make two cups of cream in a jar and I put it in my fridge, I'll have 2 cups of cream, nothing in it, just cream, maybe a little lemon juice to preserve it. But what that does, I have cream for the week. So if I have a salad, if I have cauliflower, I just take a tablespoon or 2, put it in my chopped up kale, and I can massage that and add the herbs to the kale, and I still have cream in the fridge that I can use for another dish. So I'm prepping for the week. So you have your cup or your jar of nut cream in your fridge to add to any dish that you like because it's in your fridge and already set, right? And you can have 2 different kinds of cream. You can maybe you have a seed cream, maybe you have a walnut cream, but you have it and you can use it in any of your dishes. So that's one way to be prepared when you're doing raw food. So you don't always have to be blending creams all the time. So just leave it bland, what do you say? Bland. Bland. Just leave it bland. So it could either be savory, or you could take that same cream and eat it for breakfast and make it be sweet. You can add it to your flaxseed, and you add a date to that, and now it's more of a sweet dish. So just leave it bland. Don't put anything in it, maybe a little touch of lemon juice, right? Okay. So we're gonna use this cream on our cauliflower, and we want this to be thick, not watery, because we don't want to add a lot of liquid to the cauliflower. Add a little bit more water in here. So you have to play it by ear. Just watch the consistency as you blend it. Okay, so I'll just brush the sides down a little bit so it's nice and thick. And it would hold on to the cauliflower. If it's too watery, it would just run right off. And then your cauliflower will be sitting in a bowl of water because the cauliflower will spring once you put the salt on there. All right. So see how thick it is? All right. So I'll just toss this up in here.
Chef Natalie, can
Yes.
you repeat besides the half, can you tell me and garlic?
I put some garlic in here because I didn't want to grate it. That's just being lazy. But I put the garlic in here and sesame seeds. Yeah. You could play around with it if you don't. Not a lot of people like sesame seeds because it's a little bit. It's not as sweet as the other seeds. I don't want to say bitter. But it's a really great milk actually if you mix it with coconut. I think island people eat a lot of sesame seeds, so it's really tasty. But I made it one time in a function I had. I had almond milk and coconut milk. I had coconut and sesame seed milk. The coconut sesame seed milk stayed up here. The almond milk and coconut milk went down because people are not used to sesame seed milk taste because it's I don't want to say bitter. It's a little sharp, I guess, for a lot of flavors. So you can pretty much eat this like this. You just put salt, whatever, in here, and this is a nice rice, but it's a little strong for some people. So same technique, in raw foods, one of the technique is massaging, cutting foods up this size so that it's really tasty. When you cut raw things too big, it's not really tasty. It really tastes horrible. But so when you cut them up really small, you season it and then you massage, just a little bit of cream. You do a little bit at a time. Just enough to coat the cauliflower. From the time I add some salt in here, it's just gonna spring. And I'm always, so you see it, and I'm always thinking about extra health. So I'm gonna add a little bit of turmeric. It would just give it a nice yellow color. And you know what turmeric is good for? Do you remember? Inflammation, yeah. It's good for the brain as well. It's good for IBS, the bowels, healing the bowels. Well, the bowels has inflammation. So it turns it a little yellow, see? I'm not gonna put salt in this because this is the demo dish, but because I don't want it to run. But this is how it would look. And you can add your sprouted lentils to here as well, but you want to season that up a little bit, and you can toss it in here, and then you can have a, I'm not even going to taste it either. I trust that it tastes good. So this is basically your cauliflower rice, right? That's one cauliflower, so I probably share for about 2 people, or if it was me, I eat the whole bowl too. But I'm going to plate it now. I know you're not going to do all this when you eat, but you know, people eat with their eyes. When your guests come, you could tell them you.
What does that do now?
Oh,
That's just for decoration.
this is the decorations, yeah. Yeah. That's just decorations. Okay, so that's your cauliflower rice. We're gonna put next to that some we're gonna work on the lentil stew, and we'll put that right next to it. You see how much color in God's food? All right, so that's your cauliflower rice. Okay, so our next recipe will be the next recipe will do the lentil sunflower stew. So for this recipe, you will need the lentils and some sprouted sunflower seeds. We will also need, we're going to make a sauce and then put the lentil and the sunflower seed in the sauce. So for the sauce, you'll need some sun-dried or dried tomatoes. I dried these in my dehydrator. So, why I'm drying it is because it helps to absorb some of the liquid that the tomatoes will release when you start putting salt on it. So that's a good way to absorb liquid without adding fat, right, in your dish. You need two or three tomatoes, whichever kind you like. I have some sage here. Cilantro, again, if you don't like cilantro, you don't have to put it. We have some cumin, garlic for the sauce, some chili powder, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of, let me use this one, a little bit of sweetener, again, to kind of break down the acidity of your tomatoes. You may not need the sauce, the sweetener, because sometimes your tomatoes are sweet, sometimes they're acid, so you would have to tell based on your taste buds. So with raw foods, one of the things is that the food is not standard. So today, I may buy tomatoes. If the tomatoes may come from Florida, they're sweet. Next week, I buy tomatoes, they come from Tennessee, they're acidic. So you need to know how to adjust your recipe. If it's acidic, you add a little sweetener, you add a date in there. Please don't put sugar. And I'm only using this because when I do demos, it's more convenient to do that. But if you're home, best to add a date in there. to break down that acidity in your dish, to balance out the flavor. So you have to be like a food detective or specialist when you're doing raw, and balance out your flavors. All right, and then I put a little lemon juice in there, and this is a little bit of smoked paprika that's in there. Okay, so we will start while I'm waiting for the blender for the sauce. We'll start with the lentils. All right. So somebody has something on sprouted lentils. Who has the sprouted lentils?
Sprouted lentils are very high in protein, though they are missing the amino acid methionine and must be combined with nuts to be complete protein. Protein is important as far as building and maintaining your muscles. 1 cup of lentils contains 17 grams of carbohydrates, but because sprouted lentils have a low glycemic index, they are not bad carbs. Eating sprouted lentils with brown rice give you a complete protein and carbohydrates for energy without causing insulin spike and resulting drop of blood sugar that cause hunger pangs.
Thank you very much. So when you're on raw, people always wonder if you're vegan or plant-based, where do I get my protein? You get them in your sprouted lentils, your mung beans, your grains. You get them in seeds as well. You don't need a lot of protein because you can cause kidney damage, So if you sprout your lentils, there's protein in here is more bioavailable. I guess the problem is what to do with the sprouted lentils, right? So she said when you combine the nuts with the sprouts, you get a complete protein. So that's what we're going to do today, combine it together, you get a complete protein. Now with this mixture I'm going to make, again, I'm teaching you techniques. You can combine this and you can make a loaf. So all you need is a binder and some vegetables. So you combine this, you add some vegetables, you add your binder will be like a flaxseed or chia. That will bind it. And then you add your vegetable, might be a carrot or something like that, and then your herbs and spices, and you form it into a loaf. If you have a dehydrator, you can put it in there, it'll be warm. No, like a meatloaf. Right? So just, this is good because it's low in fat, the sunflower seed. It also gives you vitamin E as well, and you also get lecithin, which is great for your gallbladder and your cells. Okay? So we're going to blend this in now. And the reason, who knows why we soak our nuts and seeds?
Better digestion.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Softens them up, right? That's what it does.
Yeah? Anything else? Anything else? No? Okay, so one of the most key reasons why, yes, better digestion is one. But the other reason why is that when we soak our nuts and seeds, we remove the phytic acid that's on the nuts and seeds, right? Because if I rest the seed on the table or the bean, it doesn't grow because it's encased in a phytic acid. Now, studies show phytic acid is really helpful helps reduce, prevent tumors and things in the body, but we get phytic acid in everything else, soybean and all these different things, but with nuts and seeds, you want to remove them because some people have upset stomach when they eat nuts and seeds because they can't digest the nuts and seeds with the phytic acid on there. And also too much phytic acid prevents the absorption of some minerals like your zinc, your iron, and things like that. So in raw foods, as a rule, we soak and sprout our seeds and grains to remove that phytic acid. For the plants will grow. 2, for better absorption, and 3, to ensure that we don't have vitamin or mineral deficiencies. Okay, so I will just combine this nut with the lentils, the seed with the lentils. Again, pulsing. If I let it blend right out, it would be a cream, okay? And I like to put a little bit of salt in there so that the seed will, so that it would get like in the, it would kind of season it up, get it ready for the sauce.
Chef,
Yes?
how do you spell it? You're saying phytic acid?
pH.
PHY?
Mm-hmm. TIC. Yeah, TIC. I think I spelled it right. The which one?
The cream.
Oh, I just need to blend the mug. Thank you. All right, so you see how it's pulsed in here? Okay, I'm gonna just put it in the bowl so you can see it a lot better. You can take that base and do different recipes with that. It could become a burger. It could become a loaf. It could become a cracker.
If you want to do it a loaf, would you grind it finer?
If you want less texture, yeah, you can grind it fine. If you want less texture, it's up to the texture you want, right? You can add a cracker. You could take this. I'm gonna get fancy here. You could take this and make a meat pie. Like you can get a pie dish and put the crust in there. You can use your pulp leftover from your nut milk, and you can put some onion powder, some garlic powder in there, and some flaxseed, and just pat it down in your little pie dish. Make sure you grease it. If you have a dehydrator, you stick that in the dehydrator, it would get crusty. Then you season this up with your spices. You can add some more fat in here, and then you spread that in that crust, and then you put it back in your dehydrator, and you get like a meat pie. I know it sounds interesting. Yeah, Natalie. But I've done it before, so yeah. But anyhow, those are different things you can do with raw. You can get really, just don't think about salads and smoothies. If you really want to do it long haul, you got to think through your nutrition, right? Because you need to get protein, and you have to get it somehow. And you want to get other minerals and vitamins, and you want to have a wide scope of nutrition. So you want to eat more things besides salads and smoothies every day, and fruit. Right. What else I'm thinking? What else you can do with this? Hummus. You can do a hummus with this. Meatballs over your zucchini pasta. So this is a base, okay? This is, it's not just a recipe. It's you can do a lot of stuff with it. All right, and then you can use walnuts. We'll give it a little bit more fat in there and give it a more creamier texture. And you probably get a really nice walnut or minced meat type of texture if you use walnuts with this. Okay, so let's now make the sauce to go on that. Now, I don't like, in raw foods, it's better not to add water to your dish. If you can use a fruit or vegetable that would give you the liquid, it's best. It prevents the food from being oxidized faster. So for example, if you're making a soup, say you're making a broccoli carrot soup. So instead of adding water to your carrots to get the liquid of the broccoli soup, you juice your carrots and use the juice from the carrots to make the soup. So I'm making a tomato soup. You can blend this. It has a lot of liquid in it. And this could be the base for your soup, Even peppers. Peppers are high in water. Zucchini, use high water foods to get your liquid, right? Because when you add water to raw food dishes, they oxidize faster. So you don't want it to oxidize. So for this, I'm using tomato, and I'm using the whole tomato because I want the liquid in here. If for some reason I just needed the shell of the tomatoes, don't throw away the inner piece of this. You can make a dressing with the inside. It's high in liquid, yeah. So you can add your cream. So that cream, I have leftover cream. You add the tomatoes to that, you get a nice creamy tomato dressing. So just don't waste anything in raw foods. You can do something with it. Yeah. All right, so for this, we're just gonna just chop it up so it'll be easier on my blender. Okay. So now add the tomatoes. Oh, I'm actually going to, did I use the, oh, using the wrong machine, but that's okay.
Let me wash it.
I wanted to use the food processor, but let's use this for now.
Wash it.
I'm gonna use this. Yeah, that's okay, fine. I'm gonna use the food processor. When you use the food processor, you gotta think about your recipe. The food processor, you don't use liquid. The blender is more, you'll put liquid in your dish because you need to move the blade. But I don't want to put liquid in the dish, so I'll use this. I don't need to wash it, it's fine. Okay, so for this now, we're gonna add a few tomatoes, dried tomatoes in here. Let me blend it up first, a little lemon juice. Okay. I just put a little lemon juice in there. All right. I'm also going to throw my garlic in here. It all blend up. This you can let run. When it turns to liquid. All right. So this is pretty much liquid in here. You want to make sure that it tastes really well before you add your greens because you don't want to be a green sauce. So before you pulse in your greens, you want this to taste however you want it to taste. So I'm just going to add a little bit of sweetener in here. A little bit of smoked chipotle or whatever spice you want. A little bit of cumin. And a dash of salt. Here. Let's blend it up again. And I'm just going to taste this one to make sure it tastes okay. Okay, it's good to me. I think I'm going to add a few more tomatoes to take up some of the liquid. It's a bit spicy too. Now I'm going to add cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you don't have to add cilantro. But the cilantro gives food a meaty taste and is also good blood cleanser as well. It removes heavy metals from your blood. And a little bit of sage. Sage does give your food a very meaty taste as well. As much sage as you like. I love sage. I don't know why, but I love a lot of sage. And then we'll just add a few sprigs of cilantro. And I'm just going to chop it up a little bit. No, you're not blending the cilantro or the sage, you're just pulsing it in there. Otherwise, your recipe will be green. Oh, we don't want a green recipe. Alrighty. Very cool. Do you smell it? You smell it? It smells good, huh? Ooh. Oh boy, I love it. Look how nice and rich and red. And that's from the dried tomato. You can make it as thick as you want, depending on your consistency here. You can add a little bit more salt in here because when you put this on here, it would just take up some of the salt, but taste it, right? You go by your taste. So you just add this to your minced meat thing here. I probably could have like a little more dried tomatoes in here to take up a little bit of the liquid. But, okay. Perfect. So now I'm just going to, I could probably use my hands. Get that in there. And you can let this sit overnight and let it marinate. You could put more tomato sauce in this, and you can add more vegetables and make it like a real soup. And if you have a dehydrator, you can warm it in there gently so you can not eat it cold. Or you can do a double boiler, like, you know, the pot with water, and you put another one in there and just warm it in case you don't want to eat it cold. Okay. So this is the stew. I could have added one more tomato for more liquid in here, actually. Okay. It just needs to marinate a little bit, and we'll be fine. Okay. So when your friends come over, you can be all right. And that's your stew there. Any questions? Any questions?
Is that what type of texture is that? Is that like a, is it like a, trying to figure, it's like a crunchy texture?
With the stew, yeah, it has a crunch in it. Because we didn't do the lentils smooth, right? So it does, yeah.
If you process the lentils with the seeds,
Mm-hmm.
do sunflower seeds, correct?
Yeah.
If you process it more, it'd be like a smooth.
Yeah, and it could get more creamy or like a paste.
Okay.
You don't want it like a paste. And you could make this a little bit more water in there if you wanted more gravy. You can add more tomatoes and get more gravy if that's what you wanted. Yes.
The lentils, how long did you sprout them for?
Oh, you know what? So so this is the sprouted lentils. I soaked them. I went to the grocery store, no lie, Friday. I got home Friday night. I put them in the jar. Friday night, yeah. And then I went to church Saturday night. I put them to sprout.
Really?
And they sprouted this month. But I'll tell you, I did a little cheating. I have a dehydrator, so I put the dehydrator on and rested on the dehydrator. This is what happened this morning. Because I made this this morning. Because last night when I went to bed, it didn't sprout. This morning when I got up, I saw the tails. So I said, thank you, Jesus. Yeah. So yes, so that is the lentils there. Okay. Any questions? It takes about maybe 2 days or 3 days, depending on how hot or cold your kitchen is, to sprout. And it's so super easy. You know what? If we want anybody who hasn't tasted sprouted lentils before? Is anyone? You haven't tasted it before? Okay, I'm gonna have you taste it, but you can season it up. Okay, don't be scared of the taste. It's very raw. So
How many times do you have to change the water?
as often as you can. No.
It has to be clear till it becomes clear. The water in the lentils.
Yeah, the water from the lentils doesn't that dirty, but just make sure. So if you put it to soak, change the water if you're home, because I'm not home all the time. So usually I put it in the morning. It doesn't get changed in the afternoon. But if you're home, you can change like 2 or 3 times throughout the day, and then by the afternoon you can put it to sprout. Or sometimes I go to bed, put it to soak. Next morning I rinse it and I put it to sprout. I turn it over on the side to sprout. I don't know, Pat, you want to give, I don't know, with a spoon, and people could put in their hand, I don't know. You can here's a spoon, and they can try some sprouted lentils. You put in their hand, or a napkin, paper towels, napkins over there, I don't know. You try it.
So after the lentils sprout for about 2 days?
Yes.
What, you drain it?
No, this is it here.
Water in? Okay.
It will just make sure it's dried out. Yeah, it's going to be on the side, right? So make sure when you store it, it's dry. And then you can use this you can even, if you want to cook it, you can cook it, but you'll kill some of the benefits. But you can use it in a lot of different dishes. You can put it on your salad. You can make hummus. You can make the burger like what you made, and switch out the chickpea, You can make a soup. What else you can put it in? Crackers if you want to try. Be curious. Crackers.
Natalie?
Yes.
Do you use Celtic salt? What do you?
I have the blue pack, right?
Yeah.
I have that home, the crystals, so sometimes I put it on my tongue. I use this too, Himalayan. And for me personally, I use Dulce.
I'm sorry, you use what?
Dulce,
Dulce?
D-U-L-S-E, Dulce.
I've never heard of it.
Dulce is a sea vegetable, but it's salty. But the benefit of Dulce is that it also gives you iodine. So it's great for your thyroid.
So what's it look like?
Oh, I should have brought some. It's like little blue flakes. Anybody else uses it? Yeah, it's like little blue flakes. It's very dark.
By salt?
It doesn't look like salt. It's like flakes. So it's like almost like a purpley, bluey flake. Some areas will grind it down fine so it will look black. Some stores or some brands will be that grind down. But it's not very salty, but you still get minerals. It has high in minerals. It has iodine, great for your thyroid. And if you're watching your salt, you can use that in moderation. Yeah. Yeah, so you get the added benefit. Okay, so our last dish here, we're gonna make a marinated jicama cabbage salad. Do you know what jicama is?
No.
Oh my goodness, no. This is a jicama. You've never seen it? It's mostly in Mexican grocery stores, but I've seen it in Harris Teeter, Whole Foods. Walmart has it sometimes.
What type of flavor does it give?
You would find out today. It has no flavor. Like it's just crunchy and filled with water.
So it's like a filler.
So you can do lots of things with it because it's like that.
Is it like tofu? Does it absorb?
No, it's like a potato texture.
Does it absorb?
Oh, it will. But it springs a lot of water though. So you have to be, if you're doing it raw in a dish, one of the things you can do is you can put it in a dehydrator to help dry out some of the water. Or you can eat it like that and you can season it up with, I make jicama fries, not fried. I cut it up, I dry it out with my dehydrator, and I make a nut cream, and I toss it up with some powdered garlic and powdered onion, put it back in the dehydrator, it dries crispy, and you have a jicama fries. And then I make like a sauce next to it, and you eat jicama fries.
Can I ask a question
Yes?
about that? I see jicama, but they have that shortening, that like a shortening on it.
Shortening.
Like a, I don't even know what you call it, but when you start peeling it, it flakes off. But sometimes.
Oh, like a wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was in a Mexican market, no wax.
Okay.
If you buy it in other markets,
Yeah. The middle is normally rotten.
go to like, so I got it around the corner here.
Where?
Around the corner. Yeah, somebody tell them. This is the most handsome jicama ever. That's what the person who got it said. Or cutest, I think that's what they say. So yeah, so this is jicama. It's beautiful. There's no wax on it. Eat from the non, what did I say? The foreign stores or the Mexican ethnic stores. International market. Yeah, you get good stuff. And another thing you can do with jicama, if you get a mandolin, you slice it really thin. It can be a little tortilla, like a live tortilla. You know, slice it really thin, and you can drop some avocado in there with whatever else you want to put in there, right? And you can cube it. So we'll taste it in a salad today. All right? Okay. We are good. Who has the reading on the cabbage? What's cabbage? Anybody? Okay. Oops, I need the
Like all cabbage wines is, red cabbage is rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, and is a low-calorie source of dietary fiber. Red cabbage is also high in antioxidants, especially anthocyanins. Through nutrition in red cabbage, these nutrition in red cabbage help keep the body healthy, and they help reduce the risk of health conditions such as cancer, osteoporosis, and heart disease.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Do you guys eat a lot of cabbage? Cabbage is from the same family as cauliflower. Okay. Helps to prevent cancers. And you can do cabbage in many ways. You can juice it, you can salad it, you can saute it, you can do many things with cabbage. All right, so let's do the cabbage first and then we'll make the dressing. So as I said, in raw foods, we want to make sure that the food is not thick and, like really chunky, because it doesn't really taste good when you eat raw cabbage, is huge pieces, right? You want to make sure it's really thin and really it feels really nice on your palate when you chew on it. So one of the ways you have to develop some knife skills with raw foods, because when you're out in the wilderness, when that time of trouble comes, you won't have a mandolin, you wouldn't have a blender, and you wouldn't have all these luxuries. You gotta learn how to use a knife. So we better start from now, okay? All you need is a knife and chopping board to do raw. You don't need all these gadgets here, really. So anyhow, so you want to shave the cabbage, right? You're not cutting it, you're shaving it. So you're just rubbing the knife up and down, so you get those nice thin. So you get these nice thin feathery cuts, right? Because if you cut it, if you put it like this and you want to cut it, you see those big chunky pieces? Nobody's not eating that. I wouldn't, right? If you have a mandolin, you can put it on the mandolin, right? But you really want to get this size here, this size of the all right? Okay, so my dear friend did this all last night. She worked hard on this for me. So we'll use what she did. So it's already done there. I'll just put this here. And this is 1/4 of a cabbage, not the whole one. If we eat from the garden, our food will go longer. Like people say, oh, we don't have no food in the kitchen. Oh, there's nothing I have, starving. But this is just 1/4 of a cabbage. I'm sure I could share for at least 3 people. With the cauliflower rice, I could share for about 3 people. And then the meat thing, you can have a meal for about 2 days, And it probably didn't cost you more than maybe $20 or $30, depending on where you go shopping. So anyway, you shave your cabbage down, and we're going to make the dressing to go on the cabbage now. This is a really simple, easy, quick recipe. You just need some oranges. It's a citrus dressing. So you just need a few oranges. Just cut that up. Did I give anybody a readout on jicama?
Yes.
Okay, who wants to read the readout on jicama?
I have it.
Go ahead.
It's pronounced jicama?
Jicama, yeah, even though it spells like a J, though.
Yes, the J salad.
Mm-hmm.
Jicama health benefits. When people often compare jicama to potatoes because their flesh is similar, but jicama is much healthier and has far fewer carbohydrates. One way to get fiber: instead of an apple, peel and slice a jicama and dip it in a nut butter. It's a fabric-packed snack that prevents constipation, lowers cholesterol, and lowers your chance of getting colon cancer and heart disease. Vitamin C. This vitamin gives a big boost to the immune system, your body defense against germs. It's also good for your eyes and skin, and it lessens inflammation in your body, which can cause arthritis and other diseases. Vitamin B6. Jicama has this key vitamin which supports your brain and nerves, forms red blood cells, and turns protein into energy. Antioxidants. Jicama has several of these compounds which help prevent cell damage. Getting enough antioxidants from food has been linked with lower risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and cognitive decline. Boost heart health. Jicama has dietary fibers which may lower cholesterol levels. Prebiotics. Jicama is rich in a type of prebiotic fibers that help restore the good bacteria in your gut.
Perfect.
Helps with hydration. Jicama is 85% water.
Use it to help you stay hydrated, especially when it's hot outside. Safe for blood sugar. If you're watching your blood sugar and insulin, jicama is a snack safe. It has carbs, but they have a low glycemic load, which means the carbs don't affect your blood sugar very much.
Perfect. I love jicama now. How many of you love jicama now?
So when you eat it, it's good to dip it in something, right?
Yeah, you can cut. That's why I say you can do jicama fries, and you can make a nice dip for it. You can do. They said peanut butter. I haven't tried that one yet. Almond butter. Yeah, and it's very hydrating. One of the problems, and constipation is a big money maker in the U.S. You know, people are constipated because we eat all these dry foods, low fiber, dry foods. We need to eat foods that are very hydrating. Jicama is filled with water, you know. So if we eat more, I mean, the reason why we don't like a lot of these foods because we're eating so much food with so much chemicals and fillers, and now our tongue, our palate isn't used to just food from heaven, you know. All right, so we'll make the dressing, and I'm definitely going home and try jicama with almond butter. So for this dressing, it's really simple. You need citrus, some oranges, and some lemons. It's going to be a ginger citrus, so we have some fresh ginger and some garlic. And then we need a thickener to make it thick to hold on to the cabbage. I'm going to use avocado as the thickener, okay, for the dressing. And if it's organic ginger, you don't have to peel the ginger, all right? So simple. I mean, you don't even need you can even put this in it's not going to take you long. And what does ginger do? What's the health benefit of ginger? And yeah, it does that. What else? It helps with digestion. Ginger is very good for digestion.
Does that also help the lining of your gut too?
It does. Mm-hmm. Helps the lining. It helps the lining of the gut.
With the relining of the gut.
You know what's good to rebuild your lining of your gut? Soluble fiber.
You like jicama?
Yeah, jicama helps too, but things like flaxseed and psyllium husk is very good for the gut lining. You know. Okra, if you like okra.
Okra?
Yeah. Helps to rebuild the gut lining back.
You can eat okra raw though, right?
Yes, you can. Just put it in your mouth. Yeah. I know. Okra slime. Good for you. All the time. Oh, I can't do these gloves. They're curling me crazy. Yeah, okra is good. You just cut it up small, like really fine. I had made okra soup. It was the slimiest thing ever, but it tastes good.
Yeah, I mean, I eat it.
Yeah.
I can't see myself drinking the juice just like that.
Oh, just mix it in some. You can put it in your cauliflower rice. Yeah. Eat the younger okras. They would not be as slimy. Okay. So, oops. All this beautiful stuff. So I'm just going to add, if you put how much ginger you like, right? I love ginger. You can put a lot. You can put a little bit. It's up to you. And I do love garlic, so I'm putting about 5, 6 garlics in there.
Garlic and orange? I never heard of such a thing.
It's going to be nice.
So do I have to go to Raleigh to get organic garlic?
We must have organic garlic down here, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, not garlic, ginger.
Oh, they don't have organic ginger down here?
They do.
They do? Where?
Walmart.
Oh, wow. Share your information. I don't live in this area, but I'm sure. Huh?
Normally I get my ginger from Food Lion, but I've never seen it.
You should get a cup of juice when you're done juicing these things. If you don't get a cup of juice, you can add a little bit more lemon. Okay. Or you can grow your garlic. I went to the store and I got a garlic root with a little sprout growing out of it. And I came home and I soaked it. And I put it in my garden and I got garlic the next summer. Yeah. And you could grow turmeric the same way too. I had turmeric in my garden and I got garlic. All right, so now we have this. Before we add the avocado, we want to blend this up smooth and make sure it's everything we wanted and more. A little bit of salt in here. And I'm adding a little bit. You can add a date if you have a date, just to take out, break the balance of the acidity of the recipe. All right, so we just blend it smooth. Now, I would just drink this like this, you know. This is great for your immune system, boosting your immune system. Add some turmeric in there and you're good to go. But since we're making a dressing, I'll just taste it. Now, it needs to be all you need it to be before you add the avocado, okay? Because you don't want to overblend the avocado. It's hot. Add a little bit more of the sweetener. It's very hot. And I'm going to add a little bit more salt because it's going on the, it's going on the cabbage. Add it again. And you can't go wrong with vitamin C, right? Okay, so now I'm going to add the avocado. Now you add a little bit at a time until it's thick to your desired thickness. Okay, so a little sliver at a time, because it can get real thick. Avocado is no joke. I think I want it a little thicker than that. It's still a little, you see, yellow watery. So put a little bit more avocado. Don't just go throwing avocado in there and you tell me it came out like cream.
Isn't that the consistency looking for, creamish?
Not too creamy.
So it can stick to the cabbage?
Yeah, but not too thick, like not like tick, 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 tick.
The liquid sinks to the bottom
Yeah.
of the cabbage.
So what I do now, it would sink, it would release liquid. So I then strain out the liquid and put it back in the thing, and I blend in some more avocado in it. Yeah, that's what I do, because it will spring liquid because you're putting the salt on it. Okay. I think I put a little bit more. I put the little piece, this little piece here in there, and then I'll massage it in there. All right. Perfect. Alrighty. Okay, it's nice and creamy, and then we'll put it in the put it on the cabbage. Second. I'm going to also add a little bit of cilantro in there. I know some people don't like cilantro. Let me get from here. Some people don't like cilantro, but I'm going to add a little bit of cilantro to add color. You don't have to, but you know, any opportunity to add some nutritious value or some detoxing value, I take advantage of it. So we'll just add a little cilantro. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to add my dressing a little at a time because I don't want it to get too soggy. And even the jicama is gonna release liquid as well. If you don't want to use avocado, you can probably use almond cream. Even that cream I told you, if you put it in your fridge, you're gonna use the cream in here, you know.
When did you put the jicama in there?
I'm gonna put it after because I can't, you can't squeeze the jicama, you can't really massage the cabbage with the jicama, so I put it last, yeah. Thank you for asking. Okay. Because you really want the cabbage to be this cook-like texture. Or you may need to add a little bit more salt. Now, for people with maybe thyroid issues, you can put dulse on here to add back the extra iodine in this. So you can buy dulse and just shake it, sprinkle it, or kelp in here. So you'll keep massaging it till it gets nice and soft. And then you'll taste it and see if it tastes really good for you. And then I'll add some jicama in there. Put a little bit more.
You put that last because you said that.
Because you can't, you wouldn't squeeze the cabbage as well, yeah. And I will, I'll probably put it here. Just probably as my meal. Actually, we'll give it its own plate. So this is pretty much the salad. And it would spring water, so if you're going to eat it now, it's great, but if you leave it overnight, it will spring water. So what you can do, you can drain that water off, and you can blend it back with some, a little more avocado, and then just mix it into the dressing. Okay? I'm going to just, you get more stems in these things than ever. And cilantro. Okay. I know some people don't like cilantro, but it's really good. Just garnishing with the cilantro, because you know some people eat with their eyes. You know? And then whatever you have left over with the jicama, you could just put it on the side. Okay. This is your salad.